Well, I'm heading off to do a beer review at one of my fishing holes. If you can see, I don't know if you can see those tracks over the hill there, but it's just over that hill, and I've never done a beer review here before. Been fishing here a lot though, so I'll get some more video when I get down to the pond. And I'm about halfway down the hill. Gonna cross that little dam over there. There's a lake where I go. Damn, there it is. I think I'm having a hard time seeing in this light, but and then here's the pond and little table over there by the swimming area where I'll be doing my review. When I get done here, I'm gonna do some hiking and do some fishing. Hello. Hey, this really is a Friday. Yesterday the review I did said Friday, but think about being retired and not working, sometimes you lose track of the days. For some reason all day yesterday I was thinking it was Friday, but it was Thursday. I'll make a note of that when I put up the video. But today I'm going to do another one of these Sierra Nevada Beer Camp beers. One of the very few that it's pretty decent as far as I'm concerned. To be honest with you, I'm pretty disappointed, really disappointed in that 12-pack. Chris over at Beer Geek Nation, he rated the whole, well, he rated each one individually, sort of meh or okay or good, and didn't really give them grades. But as far as the whole 12-pack, he gives letter grades. He gave it a C. Actually, if I were given letter grades, I'd probably give this Beer Camp 12-pack a C-. I don't think it's worth the money. It was $23.99 here, which is a lot cheaper in a lot of places, and I still don't think it was worth that. And unfortunately, I bought two of them, but one I could at least sample to find out. And I did a few reviews from the first one. To find out what's good. This is probably the best. It's my favorite anyway. The best of the bunch. This is their collaboration with Bell's Brewery. Their Maillard's Odyssey. Now it's a porter. Packaged on 5/21/14. That's another thing Chris mentioned, is a lot of them, particularly the hoppier beers in that sampler pack, they've been bottled a long time, and it was just now, just now been released. So the dates are old. I mean, this is well over 2 months old already. Being a porter, it's not quite so bad, and fairly high ABV, it's not quite so bad. But some of those hoppier beers were already starting to lose some of their flavor just because they were bottled a long time before the 12-pack was released. But anyway, to this beer and what it says on the website, it says Sierra Nevada Beer Camp Maillard's Odyssey. Rich, dark, and roasty. This was the concept Bell's beer guru John Mallett aimed for, and true to John's vision, Maillard's Odyssey is exactly that. Its name honors the Maillard reaction, the browning of sugars and amino acids that creates the wonderful caramelized, toffee-like, and roasted flavors so abundant in this beer. It says Bell's has done a lot to raise the Midwest craft beer bona fides. They are masters of many beer styles, from their portfolio of top-notch American stouts all the way through to the alpha acid assault of their Hopslam Ale. Bell's constantly reinvents beer styles and refines recipes with artful mastery and an oddball slant. And they did give some tasting notes. It says Maillard's Odyssey is a robust dark ale layered with complex malt flavors of toffee, caramel, chocolate, coffee, and dark fruit. This malt-focused concept spawned a daunting grain bill featuring 10 different grains, including pale malt, Munich, chocolate malt, oats, dark wheat, and roasted barley for a rich, semi-sweet, and intense experience. You see, I'm leaving my hat on here because I'm sitting right here in the sun. It's pretty warm today. The sun's really bright. Just came out from behind a cloud. So anyway, it's an 8.5% ABV beer. 40 IBUs. Like I said, I think it's probably the best one in the pack. So nice little hiss. No real smoke. Let's just get this porter in a glass and see what we've got. Didn't quite all go in. This is my tasting glass from the Iowa Craft Beer Festival from last year. Didn't make it this year, unfortunately, but yeah, we got a, that's black. You can't see a bit of light through it. Maybe around the edges you can see a bit of carbonation streaming up, but got a finger and a half of a light brown head that looks like it's fairly small bubbles. Looks like it's going to stick around a while. There's a few big bubbles on the top, but not many. Mostly small bubbles. So let me get a nose on it. Okay, yeah, you're getting that dark roasted malt. You're getting those notes, the coffee, vanilla, a little caramel, but it isn't overly sweet smelling. Some burnt sugar, almost like roasted nuts. I'm not getting those, what they said dark fruit. I'm not getting any dark fruit at all on the nose, just those dark, chocolatey, toffee-like, coffee-like malt. So let's get a taste. Okay, it starts out, it's still not overly sweet. It starts off with some sweetness. I am getting just a hint of raisins right there in the beginning, but they immediately sort of morph into the coffee and some bittersweet chocolate, and definitely some roasted notes. There's some hints of caramel and toffee in there. There's not much here from the hops, but like I said, it's over 2 months old, so the hops are probably pretty gone anyway, or going. Maybe just a slight woodiness to it. There's some vanilla, some molasses in there, and I'm just getting a hint of that 8.5% ABV. Getting a little of that nuttiness, like roasted nuts. A lot going on here, but it's all malt. It's fairly thick, somewhat creamy, but yeah, it's got kind of a dry after feel. Seems to be like a medium carbonation, but a very full bodied, medium full to full bodied beer. It's smooth up front, and then it's got that burnt sugar stoutness, and then just a towards the end, just a very faint but definite hop bitterness, but no citrus notes. It's those grassy woody notes. So let me sit. I will add the rest of this, and I will come back after a while with the final thoughts and grade. I'm going to get in the shade and drink some of this, though. Okay, I'm back. It's been 20 minutes or so, but it's a warmish day, and out in the sun here, it's warmed up quite a bit. I've noticed as it's warmed up, those coffee and roasted malt notes really come out a lot stronger. I'll tell you, the sun's gone behind a cloud. That's why I'm starting now anyway. I probably would have waited a little bit longer, but it's behind the cloud, so it's not quite so bad. But this is one of the standouts of that 12-pack, which actually isn't saying much, because most of them were pretty meh. But this is one I'd definitely buy again if it was, brewed, released separately, like in a 6-pack or whatever. I'd really like to see Bell's take on it. Hopefully, maybe one or both of the breweries will make this if not a year-round beer, at least a seasonal beer. I think it's pretty good. I'm going to give the Sierra Nevada Beer Camp Maillard's Odyssey. They call it an Imperial Dark Ale. I'm calling it a porter. Brewed in collaboration with Bell's Brewery. I'm going to give it a good solid 9 out of 10. Decent drinkable beer. Still not worth buying the 12-pack for one bottle of it, but it's at least something that's better than most of the stuff that was in it. But I've got 3 or 4 more that I'm going to do. One by request, and I think like 3 others that I thought were decent, above average for the rest of them. But I get done here, I'm gonna sip on the rest of this. I'm gonna get out my fishing gear and do some fishing. This is one of those places. This isn't one of those city parks though, where they mow everything. There's nothing mowed here. Most of the grass here is about knee high. So when I get home, I'm gonna have to strip down, check for ticks, and because there will be ticks, I'm sure. Got long pants on, and a lot of bug spray, but that still doesn't keep them from crawling on you sometimes. So, oop, and here comes the sun again. So I'm gonna put my hat back on. So 9 out of 10 for Maillard's Odyssey from the Beer Camp release from Sierra Nevada. And like I said, if you haven't got it yet, in my opinion, don't bother. But you can do what you want. So 9 out of 10. So until next time, everybody, cheers. Let's keep drinking good beers.